A portion of this video is sponsored by Shopify. It's weird how a decade of this led to this, but then led to this, which led to this. I mean, it was the middle of the night on Friday, August 16th, 2024, somewhere over the Bering Sea. Flight number BR36 bound for Toronto from Taipei had just crossed the halfway mark of its 14-hour flight. And as the pilots of that 12-year-old Boeing 777-300ER could just barely start to make out the trail of islands leading to the Alaskan mainland, most of the 316 passengers on board were asleep, while I sat wide awake, typing furiously. I had just made a huge decision. Now you might be thinking, how the hell does this have anything to do with a wristwatch? But if you've been with me for a bit, you know I use timepieces to mark special moments in time. And that decision made at 30,000 feet was most certainly a milestone moment. You see, for the past decade, I've been working and relying on two small businesses to keep the lights on. Splitting my time between the metal fabrication side and the corporate video side has been a constant push-pull of focus, energy allocation, and most of all, learning. However, just like you and everyone else on planet Earth, at the end of the day, we all just care about results. And with the corporate video business's results stagnating despite increasing the effort put in since the pandemic, I had, for a while, gradually began dedicating evenings and weekends to experimenting with something new. And it was on my return flight from that short trip in August for that something new that signaled to me that I had finally learned and validated enough to make that big decision, to start the process of winding down operations for the corporate video agency I had built over the past 10 years, and replace that time and effort to dive into completely uncharted territory and explore a new business, to be an explorer. And it's written right there on the dial of this milestone watch, but although it's marking a new adventure, in actuality it's really paying homage to my soon-to-close video agency. Because in order to be an explorer in entrepreneurship, we need a few things. First, we need prior life and work experience to arm us with confidence and resilience in knowing that we can solve challenges that we'll inevitably face in anything new, business or otherwise. And the second thing we need to be an explorer in entrepreneurship are accessible and impactful tools that enable us to deliver the value we intend on providing to our future clients or customers. For example, when I look back on starting the video agency over a decade ago, it was at a time when cameras that had the ability to output an image that rivaled what we saw on TV had only just become accessible to the masses in terms of affordability. And just like that DSLR camera revolution that brought about accessible and impactful tools for regular folks to create truly professional movies, this new entrepreneurial journey I'm embarking on of designing and offering travel and everyday carry products wouldn't even be possible without the affordably accessible and impactful tool of Shopify, which has opened the door to an entrepreneurial revolution, enabling millions of regular everyday people to start, grow, and manage their own businesses. I mean, I could talk about features like their drag and drop builder, great for me because I can't code, or Shopify Magic, their actually useful suite of AI tools that do so much from improving product images to parsing customer segments so you can market much more effectively. But after being a paying customer myself for nearly 2 years, what I've learned is that all of these features that we can use aren't anywhere near as valuable as the back-end stuff we don't even see. Things like secure payment processing, things like continually optimizing the highest converting checkout page. It's all of these inbuilt invisible systems that would have used to cost tens of thousands of dollars to just implement. Best of all, if you, like me, are ready to explore offering your own products to the world, Shopify has been kind enough to let me share an exclusive trial offer, which you can claim by scanning this QR code or by visiting shopify.com/Maurice Moves. Thank you so much to Shopify for sponsoring this portion of the video. But what about the watch itself? The Rolex Explorer 1, because everything, and I mean every part of it, makes it the perfect timepiece to commemorate that moment in time, of standing on the proverbial cliff's edge, able to both look back with clarity at the skills and knowledge developed, and simultaneously look forwards out at the new, exciting unknown. This deep black dial is the optimistic abyss, while the Explorer, being the quintessential field watch, has the most legible dial with the large 3, 6, and 9 and sharply pointed Mercedes handset offering clarity at a glance. Even in the dark with that piercing blue chromolite for low light legibility. Pure simplicity and symmetry, not even a date complication. In terms of dimensions, the older I get, the more I prefer smaller watches. Not quite as small, but closer to the size of watch our grandfathers would have worn. And this 36mm Explorer 1 fits the bill for me. I mean, a larger watch, especially watches over 40mm, can definitely look way too big on even an average size wrist. And yet a smaller watch almost never looks too small on even a large wrist. Muhammad Ali with his tiny Cartier tank, Sylvester Stallone with his 36mm day-date, and with my own wrist at 6.5 inches or 16.5 centimeters in circumference, this piece, with a 36mm case size and 43mm lug-to-lug, is exactly the look and feel I've grown to look for. and when combined with its 11.5mm thickness is, to me, an especially versatile daily wearable watch. And speaking of versatility, watch enthusiasts have undoubtedly heard the terms strap monster or perfect one-watch collection being referred to the Explorer 1. I mean, of course, on the signed Oyster bracelet it comes with, it offers the OG tool watch look and feel, already in and of itself compatible with nearly any outfit or occasion. But breaking out my spring bar tweezers to switch things up, putting an ultra-thin alligator flank strap makes this perfect for formal suit and tie occasions, while attaching this green sailcloth strap offers a pop of restrained yet fun color for casual summer outings. Anchoring a James Bond-style NATO onto it allows us to go even more rugged for activities like camping or hiking, really living up to the Explorer's original category as a field watch. I mean, personally, as someone who sweats so much and so quickly, this cut-to-size rubber strap is absolute perfection for sweltering days of exploration or beach and poolside vacations. And to further amplify its go anywhere, do anything moniker, its tough 904L Oyster steel case and bracelet, along with its 100 meters of water resistance, 72-hour power reserve, and superlative chronometer certification, all come together to give it the durability and reliability to live up to its Explorer name. Holding it in my hand now, it's crazy to me that having grown up in a household where the scarcity of money was always the most prevalent stressor, and then even earlier adulthood, like just a short decade ago, the $7,300 this watch cost would have represented more than 3 months of my entire wages at the time. And although I'm not a millionaire, at least not yet, this watch, symbolic in especially reflecting on all of that time spent, the years of making every entrepreneurial mistake in the book, but thankfully learning from them, is to me what being an explorer in all aspects of life is all about. The most insidious thing about being a watch lover is that mechanical wristwatches are objectively useless items, given that we all have a phone in our pocket that tells the time. But I just love all things design and engineering. I mean, despite shuttering the video business, I'm still going to be working together with Eric on the metal fab business, and mechanical watches to me are just beautiful miracles of design, of engineering and manufacturing at such a tiny scale, so watches will always be my weird and very personal way to mark moments in my life that matter to me and me alone. And so in light of that, this is much less of a watch lovers video, but rather much more of a love letter to entrepreneurship. I mean, as an undereducated high school dropout who was in $30,000 of stupid credit card debt, today, looking back, entrepreneurship is the only way that breaking the cycle of desperate perceived poverty could have ever happened. I can't say whether entrepreneurship is right for you or not, but what I can say is that a damn good sign that it is right for you is if you're the type of person who gets home from work, and as you're eating dinner or relaxing after a tough day, this voice in your head keeps saying, hey, you should be working on that thing you love, or you should be working on that idea you have. If you have that tiny voice gnawing at you at the end of every single workday, that's a pretty good sign that entrepreneurship is right for you. And if the mental barriers for you are a lack of time, a lack of startup money, or simply not knowing where to start, you will definitely want to watch this video right up here. If, however, you're curious about this new business I've only just started exploring, this video down here is the one for you. I'll leave them both on screen for a few seconds so you can choose which one to watch next, but while you're deciding, consider subscribing and hitting that bell so you'll be notified the moment new videos just like this one drop.